Welcome back to another episode of Couloir Mining Talks. Today we've got Mr. Frank Callahan, CEO of Golden Cariboo Resources. With over 3 decades of experience in the mining industry, Frank has made significant contributions to some of Canada's most prolific gold camps and is known for his role in advancing Cariboo Gold Project. Couloir Capital published an equity report for Golden Cariboo back in September 2024 with Ron Wartell, our senior analyst, after taking the trip to Golden Cariboo's site before suggesting the undervalued nature of the company with a price target of 40 cents per share. So let's dive into Frank's insights and Golden Cariboo's upcoming catalysts. Frank, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned in the introduction, over 3 decades of experience. It's really quite extensive. I'm sure you've seen the good and the bad.
That's probably longer than you are old.
That's true. That's very true. So many things you've experienced, with significant achievements in various gold camps. What first drew you to the mining industry, and what keeps you passionate about it today?
The first draw to the mining industry actually started up in Flin Flon, Manitoba, with fake ID that when I was 16 years old, it said I was 19, so I could work up there. And started dirt bagging, grub staking, a little bit of work with Hudbay in the early days, and but mostly with Tri-J mineral surveys and the staking claims and collecting soil samples. And I was 16 years old, so that was what drew me into it. That'd be 1970,
Mm-hmm.
and then since then, just following the Braylorn camp, I was really intrigued by the Braylorn camp, and then again. I couldn't get a big enough land position there. A friend of mine who's since passed away, Lou Wolfen, was in that camp, and he had the largest land position, had the Braylorn Pioneer mine and stuff, and we had the old Wayside mine. And you just need a larger land position, a more prolific camp, and looked up, and the Cariboo gold fields were just ripe for the picking at the time, and there was very little activity up there, but had some famous stories that went with it, and I was able to get a significant land position up there, and that's what started it off, making a deal with Mosquito Creek Mines and Brian McClay, and starting up there. It started in the fall of 1994 and started drilling in May of 95.
Interesting. And how's that going so far?
Well, up there was pretty good. From 95 to 2000, we were underground drilling, so we didn't see very much light, but yeah, we're going pretty good there. We drilled some 263 holes, if I remember correctly, from underground to develop an open pit on Cow Mountain. And then with low metal prices in 2000, we went out to where the BC vein was, and from there we started drilling this vein. And a fellow that gets a lot of the credit is Bob Middleton, who since passed away, but he said, go keep drilling this, Frank. I think you're going to figure out something here. These are the same rocks that we see between Timmins and Val d'Or, and that camp has produced well over 300 million ounces of gold. He said, keep drilling this and you're going to find something. And that was in September of 99. In the spring of March of 2000, we'd announced the Bonanza Ledge discovery, where we found gold in a rock formation that had been recognized as being gold bearing before in that camp. And so that led on. It's now a north of a 6 million ounce deposit, and Cisco Development's putting that into production right now. It's starting at 220,000 ounces a day, and I cheer them on every single day. And Chris Lauder and Sean Rusin have done just one heck of a job to carry it across the finish line. But we poured the first gold bar from there,
right?
And also we've also, in a previous life, we also bought Bob Buchan's first mine that he put into production, which was Kinross's a QR mine, and we bought that out of receivership in 2009 and put it back into production as a producing mine in 2010, and ran that successfully, and it's still sort of going to this day. So yeah,
very interesting. Yeah, let's talk a bit more about Golden Cariboo from a more closer perspective. Can you share an overview of what Golden Cariboo Resources is, and what sets the company apart in the exploration and development and mineral properties?
So that's a great question. So this is unlike what you see up in the Wells camp, and where Barkerville Gold Mines was focused on in that belt, and it's about a 65-kilometer long belt. We're actually on a parallel system on the other side of a pluton, the Naver Pluton, and we're in an area that had seen some placer gold in the 1860s. There's still some placer gold that's going on there, but what happened was, as a former staff member in 2014 recognized gold in a rock formation down there that she couldn't figure out where it came from, and
Mhm.
going to the library and pulling out material. Angelique Justison gets all the credit for it. She realized that the stuff that was from down below was similar to what we saw when we made the Bonanza Ledge discovery, and it led us on to that this is on along a greenstone contact, and all of the great mines in the world are along greenstone contact, as we probably well know, and she thought this was worth exploring. So we
Mhm.
started. So the model's quite different. It's low grade open pit. It's similar to like what the Spanish Mountain deposit is. That's just light of a 5 million ounce deposit. Um, and But over to the west of us, where there's a 12 million ounce deposit of Blackwater, the rocks are quite different to that. So it's not the same, nor is it the same as what we see where our Barkerville gold mines, and that was just like a 6 million ounce deposit. So it's the rocks are similar to what we see down in Spanish Mountain, and it's along the Eureka Thrust. So we can see it now for it's possibly got a strike length of maybe 5 to 7 kilometers long is what
Mhm.
we think it may be. So
Okay.
we're just early in the game yet.
Mhm.
So it's the discovery was really only announced in September,
Okay.
and it was bona fide just this past week,
Mhm.
where we had that just an amazing intercept of 340 odd meters of 0.71 of a gram.
Interesting. And as far as the jurisdiction is concerned, the history specifically goes back to the gold rush of the 1850s and its current standing as an underexplored area with an attractive upside. How does Golden Caribou, build on this rich legacy, and what makes the region's geology so promising for modern exploration?
Well, and another good question. So in this area, an awful lot of it's covered by rock. So the glaciers receded north. They put all of the gravel that came when they leveled off the mountains and filled this valley. So when you drive between Quesnel and Hickson, you're driving on this sort of wavy little road, but it's anywhere from say 10 to 20 meters up north of 40 or 50 meters of gravel on top of the mountaintop. So
Hmm.
what you're actually looking at, there's very little outcrop. So what we were lucky is the 1860s, the old timers sunk a shaft and brought everything from 300 or from 100 meters down below to surface. So we're able to see what the rock looked like. And it's that's led on to making a discovery. So
Hmm.
um, again, we're finding gold in a rock formation that hadn't been recognized. So this is much like what you see in the Val-d'Or Timmins camp. The rock has similarities to that.
Okay.
So we're just following up and using that as a model for what we're doing. So this has the possibility of being very large.
You mentioned Quesnel, so let's talk about that a bit. That's your 100% owned Quesnel gold quartz mine property in camp.
Mhm.
And it's also bordered by Osisko Development Corporation. What's the significance of this?
Well, Sean Roos and his team, they built the largest mine in Canada. It's called the Malartic Mine. It does 60,000 tons of rock a day, or better than about 2,000 ounces of gold a day. Um, and and they recognized that what we were on and where this greenstone was and what it meant. And when we started reporting results, they staked all of the ground around of where we are.
Hmm.
They staked us on three sides. And once we really actually realized we'd made a discovery back in September, we actually staked the ground on the other side of the Pluton, which is
Hmm.
another side of a thrust and stuff. So they still they still circle us on three sides. So we'd love to be in business with them and hope we will be. And we just keep drilling away. They're focused right now on getting theirs. The last one that we did, they're focusing on getting that into production. Although we poured the first bar from it, um, they're looking at putting it into as a much larger operation, as they said, 220,000 ounces a year to start.
Perfect. And as a CEO, what's your approach to leading Golden Caribou? How do the skills you've developed in the past, in your past extensive background, shape the company's future strategic direction?
Well, having put two mines into production in that neighborhood, you learn a lot. So you can't be in a rush, and you have to be methodical in your thinking. And touch wood, the staff has been quite good. All of the drilling that we've drilled so far has all been every drill hole. Touch wood has been successful, and so all had some very good widths to it and some very good grade. And if we can just sort of take a slow approach to this, although there's three drills on site, we're currently only using one, and one is all that's necessary until we get a better handle on just the size
Of
of what
course,
this is.
right.
So it's so the lesson is learned is you patience. You
Mm-hmm.
must have patience,
Mm-hmm.
perseverance, and patience will win at the end of the day.
Absolutely, and I'm sure this space is filled with challenges for junior mining exploration companies. Um, what do you see the biggest hurdle for Golden Caribou, and how does the company work on addressing them?
So the market overall is the the junior market, especially at this point in time, has gone through a since 2011 to present has been very challenged in raising funds. So it's when the seniors aren't doing well, it makes it difficult for the juniors to do well. So I believe that the seniors have actually seen a little bit of an uptick, anywhere from 25 or 30% up, and the mid tiers have done the same thing. I use the Cisco royalties as a great example. Last year, $18 to currently $29, 28 or $29. It's
Hmm.
had a good run. There's still some probably upside in it. And the market believes there's probably another 10 or 15% upside in that stock. And I believe that too. But I think people have taken some money off of the table, and then you
Hmm.
start looking at the junior market. So I believe the pendulum is changing. It's slow to move in the beginning, but I believe the pendulum is changing. And we're at the beginning of a junior market, a junior resource market, not particularly a junior gold resource market, but a junior market. But I believe that the gold stocks will probably lead the way this time.
And just to talk a bit more about the capital and funding nature of the company. Cash can be one of the very strong assets of junior exploration companies, and securing financing is critical for such companies in the space. How is Golden Caribou approaching capital raising, and what should investors know about your funding strategy?
Well, so moms and pops are the route that we have gone in the past. The last project that we had, we raised some $180 million is what was accrued in expenditures to get to assemble that land package to buy those projects and to develop them over a 20-year period.
Hmm.
Um, that's not a lot of money, but it was a lot of money during a very difficult time, because in the mid 90s, when we first started drilling there in May of 1995, all the way up to the exit of 2014, my exit 2014, the market wasn't great. I mean, I watched gold go from, don't hold me to the exact numbers, but $255, $256 an ounce US to, I think it peaked on me at about $1,000 US. Now it's 1,000 US, maybe a little bit higher than that, but not much anyways. And so it's quite a change. Gold's now approaching 3,000 US, or it's over $4,200 Canadian. I mean, everybody's got to be making money. So this is a wonderful time to be in mineral gold exploration,
Hmm.
especially. It's these prices are phenomenal.
In terms of the future outlook for Golden Caribou, where do you see the company in 5 to 10 years, and what are some key milestones in order to get there?
Okay, so drilling off the current discovery that we made this year, that we've actually bona fide that it's a discovery this year.
Hmm.
Um, that so to keep developing that asset into a larger asset than what we think it is at present. So it's just drill, not my line, but drill baby drill. Just sort of got to keep making it
Hmm.
larger. We're doing 100-meter step outs. We can see 5 kilometers in front of us, so we've got a ways to go.
Hmm.
And keep developing that. And then the other 90 odd thousand hectares that we staked on the other side of the Pluton, the blue sky that's available over there is tremendous. So I'm most excited. I mean, now we've made the one discovery. Now you're just going to continue making that bigger. For
Right.
me, the most excitement is on the other side of the Pluton on making another discovery.
Hmm.
So I'm very very keen about going on that. So the opportunity over the next 5 years is great, as management can, if they can continue raising money as we have
Hmm.
been very successful at it. Um, and I believe the share price will start to improve, and the market capitalization will improve as the market understands the size of this discovery, and as we
Hmm.
understand the size of this discovery. So it's still early in the game, and it's the most exciting times are just ahead. It's just getting fun. Just starting to have fun now.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Frank, for all your time. I just have one last question. What is one message you would like to leave with our audience about Golden Caribou and its potential for growth and discovery?
Stick with the winning team.
Perfect. Well, that's it. Thank you, Frank, for sharing your expertise and giving us an insider look at Golden Caribou Resources. Your passion for exploration and dedication to advancing projects in BC is truly inspiring. And yeah, to our listeners, stay tuned for more engaging conversations with industry leaders on Couloir Mining Talks. Until next time, this is your host, Vaibhav. Thank you very much.
Thanks an awful lot.